Any college football season is cause for celebration. Senior Day, a perfect way to celebrate and remember all of the accomplishments of this group of leaders. Welcome to the home of the Florida Gators, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, better known as the Swamp, as we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on a team from the SEC, the Florida Gators. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. They're going to try an onside kick on the opening kickoff. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
Well, I give them a lot of credit for having guts. You normally don't see onside kicks until the very end of the game. Here we are in the first quarter, and they tried one, but it didn't work. So their defense now has to come out here and bail them out.
Looking to buy time. Snagged in the middle. It's Holmes.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
And the Seminoles can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Dropping back, it's Applewhite. Flips it out on the screen. Breaks into the open. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. It's almost incomprehensible to think the Noles failed to break 17 points 10 times a season ago. That's a year after being prolific, Jesse. So what are the keys to regaining some form?
Now, Reese, I think it's the quarterback position. I think this team was spoiled in a lot of ways when they had Jordan Travis. And they obviously had so much NFL talent surrounding him, but they had a lead.
And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38. You see a Gator bringing the heat like that, you think about Derek Harvey, who was the MVP of the national championship game in 06.
And Alex Brown and Javon Curse, they had a long list of guys that can really make the quarterback's life difficult. You got to put pressure on the quarterback. You got to affect him. Really nice job on this play.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
This offense will screen you in a variety of ways. They'll throw receiver screens, tight end screens. The running back screen also a big part of what they like to do, like you just saw there.
The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the swamp on third down. Buys a little time with his feet. Got it in the middle, it's Blackwell. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
That's a really big completion for the offense. And look, I know they didn't get the first down, but because of it, they're now set up in fourth and very short. And if you're the head coach, you're thinking very long and hard if you're going to go for this one now because of that success you had on that play.
This offense wants to get out of the gate fast on their first drive of the game, plus territory. They'll go for it on fourth down. And this will fall incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Hey, you come out early in the game, you're trying to send a message to your team that you're confident, you believe in them to convert these fourth downs. You didn't get that one, but don't let it be a detriment moving forward. If you want to stay aggressive, be that way throughout the course of the game.
Looking for a physical attack from the guy. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22. Let's take a second to look at the big picture for Florida. Big moment in recruiting last week. 4-star defensive back gives a verbal commitment. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Obviously, the adjustment of speed is a big deal, but that's why you go get a 4-star guy like this. I mean, he's got speed. He plays so many DBs at one time. This is a position I feel like you can transition to college really well. The expectations for him are going to be high.
Looking to throw, it's Lagway. A little release to the back. At the 40, there he goes. Oh, he's got some space. And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line. Few teams improved over the second half of last season as much as Florida. And Jesse, the biggest reason, the play of the young quarterback, DJ Lagway.
He was just unflappable a year ago, Reese, as a true freshman. We saw that on the field, but even in my time sitting down and meeting with him, he just has a poise and a demeanor and a confidence that you don't see very often in college. This is a different type of dude, and they're expecting him to take the next level, and with that, this program carrying it on their shoulders.
If I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. And the Gators racing to the line in the hurry-up. Second down, they'll go to the air. Unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown, Gator! Fired in from the red zone for the score. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum is always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They're going to test the right side with this one. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. This rivalry only dates back to the late 50s, but what it might lack in long-term history, it more than makes up for in disdain, guys.
Well, this game certainly doesn't have the longevity historically that a lot of other rivalries have in college football, but this game always means so much. It impacts the conference championship race, the national championship race, and the Heisman Trophy race.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down mark.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where you can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. Picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Back to throw, it's Applewhite. Quarterback now breaking the field. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
Defense did a great job. Third and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball.
It's a fake. Fires to the right. And the pass goes incomplete, and they rise up to stop the fake punt on fourth down.
And when you're faking punts, it's obviously a lot easier to execute in practice against a scout team when you get the exact look you want. But doing it against a starting return team or defense is a little bit more difficult. They're unable to come up with the completion. Now the offense is set up in great field position.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Toss to the outside. Got some room in to the goal line. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Florida.
The best running backs are the guys that can just sniff out the end zone. That running back showed you all of his freakish ability on that play.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air, it's Applewhite. Finds the tight end. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
Going to take a shot on 2nd and short. Fires to the tight end. They pushed it out to the 39 after picking up 5.
Hey, that's a great job executing the drag route. You just bring the big fella across the formation, wait for him to come open. The quarterback does a good job seeing him, finds him in the hole, hits him. Perfect job.
They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. Largely dominated the first quarter and built a nice lead to get started. First play of the period, 1st down here. Looking to throw on 1st down. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Rush coming in hot, and they've got him at the 29.
And the defense gets a huge play. I'll tell you, they've been wreaking havoc in this one so far. They've got so many athletes up front on this defensive line. It kind of reminds me about the defenses I used to go against in practice back in the late 90s. Guys like Javon Curse coming off the edge. The freak. It was a nightmare. So hard for our guys to block. We felt like game day was easier than what we faced in practice. And I tell you, this D-line by the Gators, what they got this year, they are special.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you can tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
This crowd unhinged, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on 3rd down. Here comes the heat. Their pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on 3rd down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. 4th down, baby.
First play of the drive comes from the 38. Back to pass, it's Lagway. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They just gashed the defense on that one, and they've got it down to the 23.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Caught near the sticks. It's Brown. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. The Gators have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. They'll go to the air. Grabbed behind the line. It's ball. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I want to make sure I know where the playmakers are. And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back.
Touchdown, Gator! Quick strike through the air for the score.
All you can say is how impressive has this team been at home today in all 3 facets of the game. Their defense has been outstanding. We've seen some plays in special teams, and the offense continues to deliver, showing off all of the playmakers and all of the versatility they have on that side of the football. This could not be better here in the first half with the home team.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Catch in the middle. It's White. Turning it on. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. To the air, it's Applewhite. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Caught in the backfield. It's Holmes. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. He wants to throw it again. Fires to the right. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
The ball is going to be downed at the 35. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. They'll go to the ground. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. The Gators in the hurry-up. Guys, let's chat about Florida. I'm sure you guys saw what a get in recruiting 4-star defensive linemen, gave them a verbal commitment just last week.
Yeah, you can't get enough of these guys, man. And they're excited because you got to play so many defensive linemen. This is the guy that's going to come in, be in the rotation.
Gashing the knee on the right. Bust through behind. And runs through another guy. That is exactly what you want to do with the football. He's got it all the way down to the 15-yard line.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half of the offense. They've generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now to the defense.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Looking for a man. It's Lagway. Caught over the middle. It's Ball. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
Really nice job by the defense, keeping everything in front of you in that situation and rallying to the football. And now you're rewarded with 3rd and long. So we'll see on this next play if they do the same thing here or if they sell out and bring the blitz.
Motion from the wide receiver. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Thurman. So close to that end zone. He can almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. And the Gators are flying down the field. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who you trust the most. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Florida!
Well, this thing's turning into a rout, and it's turning into a rout quickly. Really nice job by the offense there, but it's not just them. Their defense is getting it done. Their special teams are getting it done, and it just feels like they're really feeding off of this home crowd and their energy. This has been the definition of home field advantage in this football game.
And he picks up what he can before stepping out of bounds at the end of the return. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Grabbed in the middle, it's McCoy. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
There's got to be a sense of urgency for this offense right now. They're trailing. They're going to be kicking off to open the second half. So they need points. They need to go tempo. Maybe that last 1st down gets them a little bit of confidence.
After a big gainer on that first play, now they can really go for it on 1st and 10. Got it in the middle. It's Blackwell. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
That last completion sets him up on second down. Scanning the field, it's Applewhite. Finds his man, it's McCoy. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
The Seminoles pick up the first down.
Listen, at this point, the end of the first half, you're trying to generate some points. First downs are the most important thing. So a really good job there converting on that third. I love the decision by the quarterback. You kind of wonder, though, are they going to want to be a bit more aggressive and maybe start taking some more shots and attack?
Intercepted for the 11th time.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. Here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. Wants to throw on first down. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
They're dealing with a second and long. Quarterback may change this route. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Catch in the middle, it's Wilson. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards. We're in the first half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job seeing the field, reading coverages, and finding his open guy.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. The Gators moving quickly to the line. They'll ride the hot hand. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They'll immediately call timeout.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Easy. To the air. It's Lagway. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting the throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. They're happy enough to try to take the points as the field goal unit heads out. Field goal is good. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And I like the way this defense just finished. And I know they're trailing, but they didn't give up the touchdown. Got a little bit of momentum. Not much time left in this first half, but you got halftime to make some adjustments, come out with some energy, but a nice stop here.
Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires to the big fella. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield, it's Applewhite. The short hands, it's Webster. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Wants to go up top. He wants to go deep. Incomplete. They took a shot to wrap up the half and came up empty. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Seminoles will kick it away to start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Making side adjustments here. Wants to go up top on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Steps away. Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to fight another play. It'll be third down.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
Looking to throw, it's Lagway. Snagged in the middle, it's Jackson. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football. You can tell.
Dances away. Blasted as he lets it go. It's complete. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Now the connection takes it to the 11.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This offense had so much success in that first half, so in the third quarter, they come out, and the quarterback looks like he's still dealing. This has been a really nice drive. That was a really nice throw. Just keep doing what you're doing if you're on offense.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
On the option. Now the toss. Touchdown, Gator! Excellent pass by the back on the option. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Just unloaded on the kickoff. Don't have to worry about a return on a kick like that. They'll bring it out to the 25. Dropping back, it's Applewhite. Moving away from pressure. He's going to take off.
I think he did a really good job, first of all, keeping his eyes downfield. You could see he wanted to throw the football. But when it's not there, don't force it. Tuck it down, get some positive yards.
Offense gets set for second down. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle, it's Pittman. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. The Noles will hustle to the line. To the air on first down. Extending the play. Bought a little time, lets it go. And that pass incomplete. The defense got a hand on it.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly, and that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
And they're going to need a lot more of this to get back in this football game. They're trailing. They're trying to make plays. I like the decision-making of the young man, though. Don't force the football. We already got to make big plays. The defense knows it, too. Nice job pulling it down, scrambling, getting the first down. Now you got to keep it going.
Pulls it in. It's Blackwell. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
He has an extensive juke library, and he exhausted it and still didn't pick up much.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Throwing right. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Off play action. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. Makes the catch down the right side. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. They'll leave it with him. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
Looking downfield, it's Lagway. Sets up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
When they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field, you saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
The Gators need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads it left. Makes the grab. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down. And the Gators are on the move. have been a bad read as the defense just swarms all over the pitch man. Got some work to do after that last play, 2nd and 13. They'll send the back in motion. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield, it's ball. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. When you see all those defenders around your intended target like that, just throw it in the ground or throw it away. I mean, that's a completion that loses yards. You're just hurting your offense there.
The Gators need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. Moves away as he feels pressure. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
Punt is in the air on 4th down. And the coverage team down there to touch the ball. No return on this play. This drive will commence from their own 11-yard line.
Set, ready. Direction.
Looking for a man. It's Applewhite. Fires to the tight end. Out of bounds at the 22, and just like that, they're out of trouble. As we enter the 4th quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the 1st down.
Ready, set.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Skips away from pressure. He'll pull it down.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
And the Noles can really attack on this 2nd and short.
Military stun.
Back to pass. Quarterback adapting. Complete to the right. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence.
There he goes. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late.
Touchdown, Noles! A great catch and run for 6.
Yeah, good for them. They put together a drive. They got a touchdown. It's been a bad day. I mean, this is a day they're going to want to forget. They're getting destroyed, but at least you get some positive vibes. Maybe finish this game on a little bit of a high note, a little bit.
And now they'll try to get the 2-point conversion, guys. Looking to throw, it's Applewhite. He's got it in the end zone for the conversion. At this point, you're probably just working on your 2-point plays. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Yes, that's one way to ensure there's no return as the kickoff goes out of bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty.
Okay, ready? Down.
Running back searching for a hole. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles, like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The offense has it now at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds his tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Oh, that just really nice catch by the big tight end. Throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Caught near the sticks. It's Wilson. They make the stop at the 33, but 10 yards on that play and a 1st down.
I don't know if they're trying to get this guy Heisman consideration, but the fact that they're still throwing the ball at this point of the game with a lead like they have is surprising, I gotta be honest.
To the air, it's Lagway. Catch in the middle, it's Wilson. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the 1st down.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Sturdivant. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. Coming to the line of scrimmage at the 30. It would be a long field goal, but they'd love to pick up a few here on 3rd and long. Caught over the middle. It's Jackson. They've got enough for the 1st down, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
And they found the big fella again, and they found him early and often today. They featured him here in the 4th quarter. Still time left in this football game. I imagine he's going to still continue to get the football thrown his way.
Knocked down behind the line. Boy, he powered through one tackler, but there were more there to greet him.
And, man, you got to like the swarm of this defense. You've got to get in the backfield, make some penetration, and realize the first guy's not going to always get that big sucker on the ground. Like, he's a big, strong dude. He's breaking tackles, but still swarming to the football, and this defense still gets a tackle for a loss.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Zings it complete to the right.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The Gators come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Looking to throw on 3rd. He caught it! And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard. The Gators have chalked down, and they put a little distance between themselves and the Noles.
You know, both of these teams always have lots of speed, but it's the Gators. They look like the faster team pulling away here in the 2nd half. Big plays offensively, and their defense is really flying around.
And the extra point splits the uprights. They march 58 yards for the touchdown on that one. And they top it off with a 14-yard pass for the touchdown. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To throw, it's Applewhite. Got it behind the line, it's Holmes.
And listen, the defense playing really conservative, right? You got the lead, but here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get sacks. I got to get to the quarterback. Like, I got to make sure I'm getting him, knocking him off the spot. Padding my stats, by the way. Got a lot of sacks late in games when we had a big lead, but that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep competing, defense.
And the Seminoles with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They're looking to throw on second and short. Floating away. Here's a throw downfield late. He's got an open man. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. And, Jesse, there's a huge mountain to climb here, but you might as well start with a chunk play.
Well, you got to start somewhere, Reese. It's been tough going for this offense all game long. They find themselves in a hole, but I love the aggressive nature. Keep taking shots. Keep trying to claw your way back into this one.
Looking to throw on first down. Trying to beat the D deep. And they won't make the connection. Looking to make a big play there.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
Misfired on first down. Back to the air on second. He's got it. Goes out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the edge of the red zone right at the 20.
When you're throwing these comeback routes, man, the timing has got to be so good between the two of them because you know the ball is going to be in the air a long time. You can't throw it late. It's going to get picked. That time, really nice job getting it out early, and the receiver.
And he throws another interception, his third one of the night. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the eye into it.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
They took it right down to the wire. Final game of the season, but they are now bowl eligible, and they can cash in on those extra practices and bonding time.
It's really a great moment. Like, you work so hard, and listen, this team, the season didn't go exactly how they wanted it to go, but to end on a high note is really good. And yes, Palmer, talking about those moments, the free vacation, the hotel, the new spot, the new things you get to do, the practice is fine, but extra time with your boys.
No doubt about it. Memories that will last a lifetime. The bowl experience is something today in the college football playoff that gets overlooked a lot, but it still means so much to these players. They worked so hard this offseason. You're right. It was a roller coaster of a season on the field, but they got the win here at the very end of the season to earn that trip.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.